All right, so apparently it seems like there's something going on with Hoyoshills trying to spread misinfo on Mornay's drip marketing, right? When they drip market Mornay, bunch of Hoyoshills are accusing Kuro of using AI, saying that Mornay is AI generated, which is insane. So we're gonna check out this video here made by Saint, just to get some more details as to what's happening here. Because when it comes to Hoyoshills, these guys are fucking losers. Let's be real, they're fucking losers. They spend most of their time going after games that they see as a threat because they attach their identity to Hoyo games. Whenever they see a game that's doing pretty well, and if it's not a Hoyo game, that's a problem. So they will do whatever it takes to put that game down, spread a bunch of misinfo, ruin the company's reputation. It's just like, all right, bro, whatever, man. But let's see what he has to say about this.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, it appears that the situation regarding AI, it appears that the situation regarding Mornye, and it appears that the situation regarding...
Damn, bro, talking fast as fuck. We're at 1.25 times speed. Damn, bro.
The rampant lies of Hoyoshills has come to a bit of a head because we've got a news article over here released in the past 24 hours that's gotten over 1.7 million views regarding the situation.
1.7 million is wild, but let me see this here. It says, chills down the spine, a post regenerates the new character illustration from a game using AI, making it look as though the official version used AI, and shocks run through as it draws criticism.
Let's just take a quick look at this post by GameSpark over here, a JP games journalism website created in like 2008. So this thing has close to 20 years of tenure. They posted this article, and here's a little excerpt. Chills down the spine. A post regenerates the new character illustration from a game using AI, as though the official version used AI, and shocks run through as it draws criticism. What an absolutely crazy article. Let's go ahead and see what the reaction is on the other side of the ocean. So we've got that article over here, and what you might notice is, goddamn, I'm not able to fucking read any of this shit. So thankfully, we've got that really, really helpful translate to English feature that we're gonna make great use out of and take a look at it ourselves. Don't pull back. I was shocked by the post that criticized the new character list of the game by regenerating with AI. Kuro Games, open world RPG, Wuthering Waves, posting AI images as if it were official art. We've got the individual.
Wait, whoa. Hold up here. Hold up. Wait a minute. So I really don't know what's happening here. Like, I'm just, when it comes to the whole AI shit, I just heard, okay? Like, I was just hearing people saying that Hoyoshills were accusing Kuro of using AI. I didn't know they literally took an AI image and posted it and pretended as if that was the actual like official art for Mornye. Are you fucking serious? And this is the person who did it? He took an AI generated image of Mornye and spread misinfo saying, oh boy, this isn't looking good for Kuro. I don't even feel like saying anything right now. Let's just watch
the
this.
Hoyoshills involved with direct quotations from their exact tweets. And guys, they even pasted the literal goddamn community notes alongside them. These all look like they're actually just embedded. This is a situation that we've already covered in the past, right? This is a situation that we already talked about at a baseline in our Hoyoshills.
Now that I'm seeing this fucking dumbass here, isn't he? You guys remember, this is the, I'm not even going to mention his name because it's not even worth mentioning, but this is the same guy that was saying, oh, we don't have any CCs in the space, who are correcting misinfo on the games they're covering. And you have a situation right now where you have Hoyoshills deliberately spreading misinformation about Wuwa, and look who has to correct it. Ah, man, another reason why this guy is the god of retards.
Pissed JP off. But I didn't know that they pissed off JP to this high of a degree. Guys, this is basically like, and this might be an insult to GameSpark,
I still can't believe they actually took an AI generated image and tried to gaslight everybody into thinking that Kuro's the one who posted that shit when it's really not them. They just made that shit up. Are you actually serious? Like, how much of a fucking loser are you? Like, and this is exactly why when it comes to the gotcha space, it has a bad rep. Because these are the people who are roaming around the community. Of course, it's not the majority, but the minority. But the problem is the minority is extremely loud. When you do shit like this, where you're going around spreading misinfo, fanning the flames when it comes to tribalism, you're just ruining the reputation for the community. You really are. This is like a new low for Hoyoshills, a new low. Just making shit up. And these are the same people that are like, oh, these CCs and these Kurobots are the ones who start drama. As much as I can't stand Kurobots sometimes because I just had to deal with Kurobots with the whole 2.8 story situation. At least they don't go to the levels that Hoyoshills go. Like at least they don't go do shit that Hoyoshills do on a daily basis, which is stuff like this, making random stuff, posting it on Twitter, and just smearing the company's reputation just for fun. I'm telling y'all, man, these people, they literally don't have a life outside of these games. They don't have a life. You say anything that they disagree with, they crash out. You say anything that they deem as, disrespectful in their opinion, they crash out. Like they are a complete lost cause.
Kind of seem like the JP version of like fucking IGN, bro. That's the vibe that I'm getting. And imagine if you had a game website with that much tenure that's known this much where they can get 1.7 million views in around like 24 hours of a tweet being up. This has to be one of, if not possibly, the biggest PR campaigns against Hoyoverse I've ever seen in my goddamn life. I actually
One of the biggest PR. I'm really trying to like remember like past like previous Hoyoshill situations. We had the Contarella situation. I remember that. That was ridiculous. I remember when they mass reported Cartethia, mass reported mass reported Contarella. Yeah, man, these Hoyoshills are fucking stupid, man. They're fucking retarded.
am not sure if we've ever had a regional game news outlet going ahead and basically chastising the behavior of a tribalistic part of the player base. Have you ever seen like in news talking about like Genshin Impact players, unless they're getting like,
And this is why sometimes I don't really go as hard on Kurobots compared to Hoyoshills. Like when it comes to Kurobots, yeah, I definitely call them out sometimes because Kurobots, they be getting out of control. But once again, man, when we compare what these Hoyoshills do and what these Kurobots do, bro, Hoyoshills are in a whole different league, man, because they have a track record of just straight up going after any fucking game and just ruining that game to its core. You have Tower Fantasy. You guys remember the whole Tower Fantasy drama with Hoyoshills. Hoyoshills were literally trying to sabotage that fucking game. You look at games like Do It Night Abyss, where you had a bunch of Hoyoshills going into the live stream and in the live chat saying that, oh, DNA sucks, Hoyo is better, play Hoyo. You have the fucking XJJ cult where they have a cult that goes around attacking CCs who play other games except Hoyo games. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. And that's exactly why when I look at Kurobots and Hoyoshills, I go harder on Hoyoshills because these niggas are just fucking ridiculous, man. They're literally ridiculous. These niggas are a fucking poison.
they're suing somebody, right? Like that dude that went bankrupt pulling for Farina or something like that. You just never see this shit anywhere. And to see it go front and center for a subject area as dumb as this has to be one of the most damaging things I've ever seen for the Hoyoshill side of the equation. But don't worry, guys. If you thought this was bad, if you thought being pasted...
No cap, Kuro, they can deadass sue these people. They can deadass sue them, but I don't think it's worth it, bro. Like, it's just not worth suing these fucking nobodies. What is this? Kuro really needs to step up their AI games. Like, come on, how hard is it to have someone double check the generated image for things like accessories, consistency before posting them? It costs you less than one 10,000th of the money spent on ads. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh my god. Oh.
Front and center and laughed at for your clear attempts to sabotage the game. If being pasted front and center in the JP news space wasn't enough, this is building upon the already awful awful reputation that the Hoyoshills have been getting overseas already. Because guys, this is only just the third thing that's happened over the past couple of weeks. You had the senpai situation over here, ladies and gentlemen, where you had, once again, Hoyoshills get.
Honestly, when it comes to the senpai thing, I don't even know what the fuck that was about. So I didn't really care about that because that was just like whatever. Who cares? Um, what is this? They nominated the one gotcha game that's fucking unplayable on mobile for mobile game of the year. Laugh my yo. These people like yo like no cap. Let me switch my screen here, and I might look terrible because I'm pretty sick right now. But these people like it's so sad how their life revolves around these games. It really does. Like their life revolves around these games. Like when you take away these games, what are they doing other than going on Twitter, spreading misinfo, whining and moaning about a video game? What do you think they're doing on a daily basis? I doubt these niggas got anything going on in their life. It's sad. It's really, really sad. And this is exactly why when you take a look at communities like the fighting game community, like the FGC community, multiple other gaming communities, the gotcha community is a laughing stock. Whenever other communities see the gotcha community, they laugh at them. They laugh at the gotcha community because this is the shit these niggas do on a daily basis. This is fucking sad, man.
Fans, Hoyoverse fans, going ahead and drawing crazy implications for the use of the word senpai in the Wuthering Waves 2.8 story in a region based off of Japan, where calling somebody a senpai is basically the same as calling them boss, calling them sir, calling them ma'am. It's basically the same thing, but in a bit more of like a hierarchical sense of wording. They made a big deal out of that. Then they got community noted, and then people got pissed off at them. Then they proceeded to go ahead and play the game on the lowest settings possible, and then lie about how the lowest settings possible are what.
Ain't no way they. Okay, when I actually look at this, yeah, bro, what the fuck is that, bro? Like, this is how. Oh my goodness, man. Wow, put the game in the lowest setting possible just to say, oh, the game. Oh my god. Like, I know Wuwa isn't the best on mobile, but brother, seriously, man, seriously.
the game just looks like every single time you play it, misleading an audience and making people think the game looks worse than it actually is. More misinformation and lies after misinformation and lies. And then the third situation is going to be another set of massive misinfo and lies where people are running images through AI and then attempting to pass it off as AI so that even more negative reputation can be drawn to Kuro Games. And this is really just the honest truth about this situation. None of this stuff would be going on if, and this is going to be an important one.
I'm gonna just say it right now before he says it. I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna say, but I feel like the reason why this is happening and why they're just like they're just dishing out a bunch of misinfo is because of the Game Awards. That's how desperate these people are. When you guys remember the Game Awards with when Genshin was going against Sonic, they were going against the Sonic community. Bro, that shit was wild. Yes, it was this right over here. In the 2022 Game Awards, Genshin Impact won the Fan Voted Player's Voice Award over Sonic Frontiers after a heated, intense rivalry between the two games' fan communities. The rivalry, which sometimes escalated into online conflict and accusations of botting, was driven by dedicated fan bases campaigning to make their game win the solely fan voted category. Like, these people are so fucking ridiculous, man. Holy parasocial, bro. I'm telling you, man, it's the fucking Game Awards. That's why they're acting like this. It's the fucking Game Awards. When it comes to the Game Awards, Hoyoshills take this shit to heart. They take this shit to heart. They tied their identity to Hoyo games. They sold their soul to Dawe. They literally sold their soul to Dawe. It's
All of this
pathetic.
stuff here, all of the lies, all of the misinfo, all of the community noting, all of this stuff would not be happening unless this was happening. And that is Wuthering Waves
Exactly.
being nominated for Mobile Game of the Year at this award show. Wuthering Waves giving out the 1,000 Astrite. Wuthering Waves promising more and more marketing materials for 3.0 on this date. All of this negative PR, all of this misinfo, all of these shenanigans would not be regularly occurring at this time of the year if WoWA wasn't up for its time in the spotlight. And I think JP sees that. I think EN sees that. I think
everybody sees that. Literally everybody sees that. Hoyoshills, it's like they don't show their true power. Everything they're doing on a daily basis, that's just a sliver of their power. When the Game Awards comes around the corner, Super Saiyan God mode, start spamming key blasts everywhere. That's what they're doing. You guys know in Dragon Ball, when you see Vegeta, as soon as he starts spamming key blasts, he lost the fucking fight. That happens every fucking time. That's literally Hoyoshills. When Game Awards comes around the corner, they just start spamming key blasts everywhere. They're out of control.
Is the fact that this discussion got into the mainstream. You got people like Chibi Reviews jumping in on it. And then in response to that, guys, you got a goddamn Japanese politician. This guy, I don't really know who he even is. Zenko.
Yeah, this is getting out of control, bro. It is. It's getting out of control. Once you see, like, gotcha drama making it into the mainstream, like making it to mainstream, that's how you know these niggas are taking this shit way too far. I mean, come on, man. Like, can't you guys just, like, relax? Like, seriously, just relax. It's not that fucking serious. What happened to the what happened to the good old days when a game is succeeding, we'll be like, hey, yo, congrats, man. Good shit, bro. Good for you. What happened to that? Tribalism, bro. And tribalism was always here, right? Tribalism was always here. The internet pretty much amplified tribalism, but it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse over time. It's getting worse and worse over time to the point where tribalism tribalism has its own community. Like, these people are literally selling their souls to these games. That's why whenever you see CCs like me criticizing games like Genshin Impact or multiple other games, or your games, as a matter of fact, when you read the comments, shit is cooked. Shit is absolutely cooked.
Goddamn member of, like, the House of Conciliars, whatever that means in JP, and he was jumping in on this issue. So think about it this way, guys. Hoyoshills, in their attempts to sabotage and spread lies and misinformation about Wuthering Waves, have not pissed off JP in just this circumstance. They've pissed off JP when it comes to this, and then they've also pissed off JP when it comes to this one. And my take is that JP is probably going to start keeping a very close eye, because they've already basically made national gaming news once. I feel like JP is going to keep a close eye.
It's going to get to a point where, like, Hoyo, they're going to have to do something about this shit. They're going to have to do something about their own community, because it is getting out of control. Like, it's not as simple as, oh, it's just, random drama on the internet. No. Bro, taking an AI image and spreading it on the internet and saying that, oh, Kuro, you guys need to do better. When you know full and well they didn't do it. You generated that shit and posted it on the internet just to spread misinfo. When you do stuff like that, you are literally ruining the company's reputation. You're ruining their reputation. When it comes to AI, some people don't fuck with AI. They don't. And if you have some people outside of, the gacha space, they don't really know anything about WoWA. When they see stuff like this, they're gonna be like, oh shit, this game is using AI for their characters. Oh hell no, I ain't touching that game. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. The only way these Hoyoshills can understand is when you flip the script. You flip the script, and let's say this situation, Kurobots took, I don't know, Durin, and said, oh shit, they're using AI for Durin? That's when Hoyoshills will understand. That's how fucking retarded these people are.
the future. And the end result is going to be perhaps more publications, more widespread shaming of this type of behavior. And I'm going to be real, ladies and gentlemen. When the entire basis of these individuals' arguments is to go ahead and just regularly lie about the game and get repeatedly community noted, all it does is just make one side of the gacha space look incredibly rational, incredibly based in reality, while the other side seems to be living in,
like, of course this doesn't make like the Woo community perfect, because the Woo community has its flaws, but you can understand why when it comes to Kurobots versus Hoyoshills, you can understand one side and why they're constantly in the defense for their game, because this shit happens way too fucking much and it just gets worse and worse over time. That's why sometimes I'd be like, I ain't gonna say much about Kurobots sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna go too hard on them sometimes, because this is the shit they gotta deal with on a daily basis, bro. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna cut them some slack. You know, I'm gonna make some videos, you know what I'm saying? Like the 2.8 story, pff, hell no, man. I was not gonna let y'all steamroll me. Hell fucking no. I was gonna stand up for myself. But a lot of the times, right, whenever I see Hoyoshills on Twitter just saying a bunch of stupid shit, spreading a bunch of misinfo, trying to ruin the reputation for Kuro, right? Ruin Wuwa's reputation, the Contrail situation, how they mass reported. It's like, bro, telling y'all, man, at some point, Hoyo has to do something about this shit. Hoyo literally has to do something about it. And I mentioned this like a couple months ago. Um, let's say Hoyo, like let's say for a new update, they don't give the players any update compensation, because they always give like 300 primos whenever they launch a new update. For maintenance they give like 300 primos, an additional 300 primos because of maintenance, etc. But like they should remove that whenever they do shit like this. And I know not every single Genshin player is doing this, not every single Hoyo player is doing this, but guys, at some point, what the fuck can we do? That's what I'm saying. Like, at some point, what can we do? Because these people are just out of control. This shit has been happening for way too fucking long. Way too long, bro. Way, way, way too long. So Hoyo, they have to do something about this, because Hoyo, they're just keeping their mouth shut. Their community is getting out of control. These niggas, they attack voice actors on a daily basis over stupid shit. You guys remember the skirt situation? That was so retarded. They literally attacked the voice actor just because of fan arts, just because she shipped a male and female character together. That's why they crashed out, and they attacked her. This is the community we're talking about. These are the same people we're talking about. The same people who go after VAs. This is what they're doing: spreading misinfo, generating AI images, spreading it all over Twitter. Kuro, you need to do better.
One of the most absurd
these niggas are a lost cause,
that
man,
could possibly exist on the planet. And I think that the sooner and sooner we get to the recognition of the severe amount of mental illness that regularly gets displayed in Hoyo versus online communities, the sooner that recognition happens globally, oh dear boy, I feel like the more fun we're going to start having in global as well.
I feel like at some point you're going to have like creators from creators from like the mainstream. They're gonna jump in on this shit, and they're just gonna shit on Hoyoshills. I remember Moist Critical, he made a video. You guys remember the whole like Farina situation where this guy, he chose Farina over his fiance, which is insane. At some point, big content creators, like I'm talking about big CCs that got like 3 million subs, 4 billion subs, at some point, they're gonna start covering this shit. They're gonna start covering it. And I can't wait for that to happen, because it's getting ridiculous, man.
Because I think one of the biggest struggles overall of these guys.
All right, that's it for this video. We've been yapping here, but yeah. So I know what's happening. That's crazy. At first, I thought they were accusing Kuro of using AI for Mornye, but no, it's literally them generating an AI image of Mornye and spreading that all over the internet, saying Kuro needs to do better. Oh, this isn't looking good. Get a fucking life. And yeah, I'm not even gonna say get a life, and the reason why is because like insults don't even work anymore when it comes to Hoyoshills. It's not even worth it. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Adios.